Hello YouTube, this is going to be an Autodesk Maya 2022 chair and table tutorial using extruding. I'm also going to be doing some very simple standard surface texturing, nothing complicated. This is going to be for you if you are not familiar with Autodesk, if your school has given you a license and you need to learn it. This is my first Maya tutorial and I still am in the process of learning it myself. So have some patience with me if I didn't explain something thorough enough, but hopefully this is clear enough that you can follow, learn a little bit about extruding, and if you have any questions, just comment them and I'll answer them as soon as possible. So with that, here is how to make a table and chair. So for the sake of there being limited Autodesk Maya 2022 tutorials on YouTube and all of them being for Blender, for obvious reasons, I am going to start a little mini series on basic beginner slash intermediate tutorials of low poly modeling and texturing in Maya. Think Roblox horror game. We're gonna start up here in our polygon section. I'm gonna make a cube, and then I press R. I'm gonna shrink this down to be a tabletop surface. And I want this table to be a little bit longer, like that Incredibles table from the movie where Mr. Incredible is eating in that lava pit with that one chick. I've never done a tutorial before, so excuse me. From this polygon that I have now flattened, it's looking a little bit like a tabletop. So we're going to make some table legs. And again, this whole thing is going to be extruding. Extruding is your best friend. I like to have the modeling toolkit up when I'm in the modeling standard and in the modeling option up here on the top left. So I'm going to click add divisions. And then with my middle button on my mouse, I'm going to scroll to the right and increase those divisions. And really what I'm doing is I want to have enough divisions to make table legs at the four corners of this table. And so I'm going to select this and also turn symmetry on for object Z. So it's less clicking for me. And then you see that's the bottom of our table. I'm going to click this extrude button at the top. And I'm going to bring it down. You see that's way too many divisions. We don't need that many divisions for this table. So I'm going to go to attribute editor. We don't need 34 divisions. Let's do like 3. All right. So we have a very basic extruded table. Now we need something more. So I'm going to select the faces on the inner sides of the table legs for all 4 legs. And what I do on this side, it happens on the other side because I have my symmetry as object Z in the attribute editor. And I'm just going to bring it inwards. I don't want the table legs to be that wide. So we have something that looks like this. And I actually want the faces around the table itself to extrude a little bit to go over the table leg so it's not so IKEA. To do that, I'm going to continue to be in face mode. Select all 4 faces going around the edges of the table. I'm going to click extrude. Go to attribute editor, turn 34 off down to 1. And if I extrude like this, it's going to be kind of weird, so I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to click out, and I'm pretty much going to drag out. Like this side, and drag out. So this is the face that we extruded. Bring that out a little bit. Looks pretty good to me. So here's our table. I'm going to keep it very simple since this is a beginner tutorial. And now we're going to make a chair. All right. Go back to object mode. We're going to create another cube. The size is down. Put it next to the table to gauge how big this chair should be. And granted, I'm going to create the sitting portion of the chair first and then extrude off of that. I think that looks pretty good. All right, so now that's good. I'm move it away. Press F. All right, very basic chair. And so I am going to go back into face mode, go to modeling toolkit, select the top face, add some divisions. I'm going to go with 2 and select this back row. I'm actually going to turn symmetry off for a second so I can select these 2 over here. And I'm going to extrude these 2. I'm not really sure why mine is set at 34 divisions, but you never need that many for something as simple as this. And then I'm going to select the faces on the inside. I want this chair to kind of have a little bit of character. Not too much, but a little bit. Add some divisions. Do like one up here. And then I'm going to select these faces on the inside. And then click this little setting in components bridge. And it connects them together. Now for the chair legs, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the table. Add divisions. I think that's good. I'm going to select the faces that I want to be the chair legs. Press extrude. And turn my divisions down. Make sure you control save like every 2 minutes or as often as you think you need to after as many, movements within this software as possible because there is no autosave feature, unfortunately. And I have learned that the hard way. And so we're going to go back to object mode. This is very simple. Extruding is your best friend for this project and for a lot of different projects. I'm actually going to move this a little bit closer to gauge the size. Press F to zoom in. Okay, this looks like a kid's chair. And so this up. What I'm going to do in object mode is press R. I'm going to elongate this just a little bit, more like an adult chair. I'm going to go to object mode, press W, control D, which duplicates it. I'm going to go to attribute editor, go to cube, rotate this 90 degrees, press W, move it to this end of the table. I'm also going to rotate this one and put it on the other end. I'm just going to say this was inspired by the Incredibles table, the infamous Incredibles table, just a very low poly version with no detail. Rotate this 90 degrees, negative 90. Press W. There you have it. Table and chair. Part 2, which is in the same video, I'm actually going to texture these. Very simple textures, nothing crazy. I'm not even going to import another image. I'm not going to do any UV mapping. I'm literally going to assign color. Look at this in render. My sky dome is on, so this is what it looks like without any textures. I'm actually going to give this walls also. Back to object mode. I'm going to click this table. I'm going to right click it. Go down to assign favorite material, standard surface. The base color is the actual color that you want it to be. Let's do something a little bit darker, not so warm. Let me see how that looks. It's pretty good. No textures, just regular color. And I'm actually going to do something a little different real quick. If you want something to be multiple standard colors, you just select the faces, assign a new material, standard surface. I want the color of this to be, let's go blue. Thinking blue. All right. And I'm gonna do the same thing for this guy. Press the faces. Assign existing material, which is standard surface 4. That's our most recent surface. And then for the rest of this, I'm going to also click face. And actually, it might be easier now that I think about it to assign this whole object the same color as the wood. And then go in and click faces. And that's when you'll want to add actual color, which is standard surface 4. Do the same thing for this one. Object mode, assign existing material, standard surface 3. Go into face mode, select these faces that are already selected, thankfully. Assign existing material, and that's standard surface 4. Here are our table and chairs. Very low poly, very Roblox. It's a simple demonstration of how you can use extruding to build off of one single polygon, build multiple, shapes, layers, sections of objects that you make in Autodesk Maya.